My name is Kylie Morgan Stevens. I'm 18 years old, and on the night of February 12th, I died for 9 minutes and 36 seconds when my car hit a tree while I was looking at my phone. I grew up in Millfield, Oregon, just a normal high school junior with two younger brothers and parents who worked too much. I was on the volleyball team, had decent grades, and spent most of my free time on social media like everyone else. I wasn't super popular, but I had my friend group and 300 followers on Instagram, which felt like everything that mattered back then. It was raining that night. Not pouring, just that light, steady rain that makes the roads slick. I was driving home from my friend Amber's house around 9:30. My phone buzzed with a notification. Some guy I liked had posted a story, and without thinking, I picked up my phone to check it. 5 seconds. That's all it took. 5 seconds looking at my screen, and I didn't see the curve coming. The crash itself was loud, then quiet. The sound of metal crunching, glass breaking, then nothing. Nothing at all. The next thing I knew, I wasn't in my car anymore. I was floating, standing. I don't have the right words for it. I was above everything, looking down at flashing red and blue lights, 2 police cars and an ambulance, people running. And then I saw my car wrapped around a tree, the driver's side completely smashed in. Then I saw me, my body. They were pulling me out onto a stretcher. I looked broken, blood everywhere. My face was so pale. A paramedic was doing CPR, pumping on my chest over and over. Another one was yelling. I couldn't hear what he was saying, but his face looked scared. I should have been terrified, but I wasn't. I felt peaceful. Like everything was suddenly okay in a way I'd never felt before. Like all the worry and fear and pressure I'd been carrying my whole life just melted away. Then the strangest thing happened. Everything around me, the accident scene, the paramedics, my body, it all started to fade. A warmth washed over me, and I felt myself being pulled gently backward. There was a light growing brighter behind me. Not harsh like headlights, but soft, like sunrise through your bedroom curtains. I turned toward it, and the light grew until it was all around me. So bright, but it didn't hurt my eyes. And the warmth. It felt like being hugged by every person who ever loved you, all at once. That's when I saw him. I just knew it was Jesus. Not like the pictures in Sunday school with the long brown hair and beard. This was different. He was light itself, somehow shaped like a person. But his eyes, I could see his eyes so clearly. They were filled with more love than I can describe. Like he knew every single thing about me, every mean thought, every lie I ever told, every insecurity, every mistake, and he loved me completely anyway. When he looked at me, I felt naked and clothed at the same time, like all my secrets were out in the open, but it didn't matter because I was completely accepted. Kylie, he said my name, and it sounded like music, like he'd been waiting to talk to me my whole life. I couldn't speak. I just started crying. Not sad tears, but tears of relief, recognition, like I'd been lost my whole life without knowing it, and I'd finally been found. He smiled and said, "Walk with me. There's something you need to see." We weren't in the light anymore. We were walking through what looked like a huge room with walls made of light. Then the walls changed, and suddenly we were surrounded by screens. Hundreds, thousands of screens floating all around us. On each screen, I could see young people, kids my age, some younger, some older, all staring at their phones. "Look closer," Jesus said. I looked at one screen and saw a girl about 14, scrolling through social media in her bedroom. She looked sad. As I watched, dark shadows gathered around her, whispering things I couldn't quite hear. With every image she scrolled past, the shadows got bigger. "What are those?" I asked. "They feed on comparison," Jesus said. "On envy, on self-hatred, on the feeling of never being enough." He guided me to another screen. A boy, maybe 12, was playing a violent game, his face blank. The same shadows were there, but different somehow, more agitated, angry. "They feed on rage," Jesus explained, "on the need for revenge, on fantasies of power and violence." Screen after screen showed the same thing. Kids, teens, even adults, all connected to their devices but disconnected from each other and from themselves. And around each person were these shadows, these beings, feeding on their emotions, whispering lies, growing stronger. These spirits have always existed, Jesus said, but they never had such easy access to so many minds and hearts before. Your generation handed them a key. Then he took my hand, and suddenly we were looking at me. Me in my bedroom, scrolling through Instagram at night instead of sleeping. Me checking my phone during dinner while my mom was trying to talk to me. Me taking 40 selfies just to get one that looked good enough to post. And I could see them, the shadows gathering around me too, whispering, "You're not pretty enough. Look how much better her life is. Nobody really likes you. You need more followers. You need more likes. You'll never be enough." I started crying again, but differently this time. "I didn't know," I whispered. "I had no idea." "Most don't," Jesus said gently. "That's why I'm showing you." Then the scene changed again. We were in a vast space that felt like a command center. I saw what looked like angels, beings of light, working, moving, responding to prayers. "Watch," Jesus said. He showed me a teenage girl on her knees beside her bed, praying. As she spoke, her words became light, shooting upward. Immediately, several angels moved, and a shield formed around her. The shadows that had been circling retreated. "One sincere prayer," Jesus said. "That's all it takes to activate heaven's protection." He showed me more scenes, families with no phones at dinner, talking and laughing together, teenagers outside, faces turned up to the sun instead of down at screens, people reading actual books, friends having real conversations, looking into each other's eyes. "This is connection," Jesus said. "Real connection, what you were made for." Then he showed me something that broke my heart. My parents, sitting in a hospital waiting room. My mom was sobbing into my dad's chest. My dad, who I'd never seen cry before, had tears streaming down his face. "They love you so much, Kylie," Jesus said. "More than any follower, any like, any comment ever could." I saw my little brothers too, confused and scared. Tyler, only 10, asking if I was going to die. Jake, 14, punching a wall in the hospital hallway, then sliding down to the floor, shoulders shaking. "I want to go back," I said. "Please. I need to tell them. I need to tell everyone what I saw." Jesus looked at me with those eyes full of love and understanding. "Is that what you truly want? To go back?" I hesitated. Being with him felt so perfect, so complete. Every worry, every insecurity, every fear, gone. The peace I felt was beyond anything I'd ever experienced. The thought of leaving his presence was almost physically painful. "It will hurt," he warned. "Your body is broken. The road back will not be easy." "I know," I said. "But they need to know. My friends, my family, everyone with a phone in their hand right now, they need to know what's really happening." Jesus smiled. "That's why I chose you, Kylie. Your heart was always bigger than your followers could see." He took my hands in his. They were warm and I could see scars in his palms. "Remember what you've seen," he said. "Tell them that their worth isn't measured in likes. Tell them real connection happens face to face, heart to heart. Tell parents to pay attention. The battle for their children's minds is real." I wanted to memorize his face, the feeling of being in his presence. I wanted to stay there forever. "One more thing," he said. "Tell them I love them. Tell them I'm waiting to talk to them, if they'll just look up from their screens long enough to listen." Then he hugged me. I can't describe what that felt like being filled with light, like coming home after being lost forever. "It's time," he whispered. And then everything went dark. Pain. That's the first thing I felt. So much pain everywhere. Beeping sounds. Bright lights that hurt my eyes. The antiseptic smell of hospital. A tube down my throat. I couldn't move. Couldn't speak. I heard someone say, "We've got a pulse. She's back." Everything hurt. Breathing hurt. Even with all the medication they must have given me, the pain was overwhelming. In that moment, I would have given anything to go back to that place of peace, to be with Jesus again. I heard my mom's voice. "Kylie, baby, can you hear me?" I couldn't answer. I couldn't even open my eyes, but I felt her hand take mine, and I managed to squeeze her fingers. That's all I remember from those first hours. The doctors told me later that I had died on the scene for 9 minutes and 36 seconds. By all medical understanding, I shouldn't have survived. And even if I had, I should have had serious brain damage from the lack of oxygen. But 3 weeks later, I walked out of that hospital. Broken bones healing, cuts turning to scars, but my brain completely intact. The doctors called it a miracle. They were right, but they didn't know the half of it. Coming back to normal life was hard. Harder than I expected. Everything looked different to me now. Everyone hunched over their phones, missing the world around them, missing each other. And sometimes, out of the corner of my eye, I could still see those shadows, gathering and feeding. The first time I told my parents what I'd seen, they looked scared. Mom started crying. Dad just held my hand really tight. They believed me, though. They'd seen the miracle of my survival. They knew something had happened. My friends were different. Some thought I was making it up for attention. Others were just uncomfortable. A few listened. Really listened. I threw away my social media apps. All of them. At first, it felt like withdrawal, constantly reaching for my phone, wondering what I was missing, feeling that phantom buzz in my pocket. But after a while, something amazing happened. I started seeing things I'd been missing for years. The way the clouds change color at sunset. The sound of my brother Tyler humming while he does his homework. The look on my mom's face when I actually pay attention to her stories about work. Real life. Happening all around me, all the time. I started a support group at school. Just a few of us at first. Talking about cutting back on phone time. Making real connections. The school counselor let us use her office during lunch. We called it Look Up. Just a reminder to do that simple thing. Look up from your screen. See the world. See each other. Word got around. More kids started coming. Then a local newspaper did a story on us. Then a TV station. People started reaching out from other schools, wanting to start their own look-up groups. My parents changed too. Dad put his phone in a basket when he came home from work. Mom deleted most of her apps. We started having device-free dinners where we actually talked to each other. We started playing board games again, like when I was little. I'd forgotten how much my dad laughs when he's really having fun. It's been 6 months since my accident. The scars are still there. A long one down my arm, another across my collarbone, smaller ones on my face. Sometimes I still have pain in my ribs when I laugh too hard. But I don't mind. They remind me of what's real. Yesterday, a girl I barely know came up to me at school. Her eyes were red like she'd been crying. She said, "I deleted all my social media last week after hearing you talk. I've been feeling so depressed for so long, comparing myself to everyone online. But this past week, I actually felt okay. Like, for the first time in forever. That's why I'm telling my story now. That's why I came back. If you're watching this, please hear me. Your worth isn't in your followers or your likes. Those apps are designed to keep you hooked, to feed you just enough validation to keep you coming back, but never enough to make you feel whole. And there are things, spiritual things, happening that we can't see, forces that want your attention, your time, your mind. They want you distracted, isolated, comparing yourself to others, feeling like you're never enough. Parents, please listen. Your kids are fighting a battle you can't see. They need your help. They need your attention, your real attention, not the half-listening while checking your email kind. They need you to model what it looks like to be present, to value human connection over digital validation. Look up, talk to each other, pray, even if you've never done it before. I saw what happens when you pray. It matters more than you know. I'm not saying throw away all technology. That's not realistic. But be intentional. Set boundaries. Have device-free times and spaces. Remember what it feels like to be fully present with another human being. I died looking down at my phone. I missed the curve in the road because I couldn't wait 5 minutes to check a notification. Don't make the same mistake I did. Whatever's on your phone can wait. The people in front of you, they're what matter. Look up, while you still can. Jesus showed me something else, something I haven't told many people. In that place between life and death, he showed me 2 possible futures. In one, people were more connected to their devices than ever, barely speaking to each other, shadows all around them, growing stronger, feeding on their isolation and fear. In the other, people were coming back to each other, looking each other in the eye, laughing together, crying together, praying together. The shadows were still there, but weaker, retreating. He didn't tell me which future would happen. I think that's up to us. So please, when this video ends, don't just scroll to the next one. Put down your phone. Find someone you love. Look them in the eye. Tell them what they mean to you. That's why I came back. To tell you this. Look up.